Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we have some very interesting news to talk about on Bitcoin because, as you guys may be familiar with, the Fear and Greed Index has updated. In fact, Fear and Greed has been trading sideways at around 75 to 80 for the last 2 months, but over the last couple of days, we have had a massive crash in the index. And guys, this is very important because, as you guys know, the more fearful people are, generally the lower the market is, and also generally the better the buying opportunity we're going to have. As you guys may also know, when the market is overly greedy, it may be a sign that the market is getting overextended and is looking for a pullback, which we have just had. So in today's video, guys, we're going to be discussing why right now and moving into the next couple of weeks might be the first actual technically good time to be buying into and investing in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets that we have seen in quite a while. Does that mean I think the market is absolutely unable to go lower? No, quite the opposite. I think we are going to go lower, and we're going to be discussing all of that and more in today's video. Guys, if you do enjoy today's video, consider hitting that like button. It really helps out the channel when you do that. I'd be very appreciative if you did, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It's come to my attention that almost 40% of you guys are not subscribed, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 75k subs by the end of the year, and we'll be having something really fun and special happen when we do reach that milestone, so if you'll help us, it'd be much appreciated. Anyway, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Guys, I am so tired. I'm very tired. We've been doing a lot this week, and all kinds of stuff is going on behind the scenes that you guys are going to get to see pretty soon, and I'm very excited about it. But like I said a couple days ago, bear with us because I might not be quite as enthusiastic as normal, but I promise you guys I am. It's just not showing. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump onto the chart because we do have some very important analysis to be doing. As you guys will know, Bitcoin had a head and shoulders pattern form over the last couple of weeks, and it is now playing out. Bitcoin rallied to, tested, and overnight rejected from $10,500, which was our previous support level, now turn resistance. As with every market movement, there's good and bad news in all of this. The good news is we're seeing increased volatility in Bitcoin. We're seeing increased volume because of that increased volatility. And when we see increased volatility in volume, that's also going to bring about more retail and institutional investor interest because Bitcoin is going to be in the news more often. Especially if Bitcoin pulls back and starts trading below something like $10,000, we're going to see major headlines of that, and the smart money is going to see that Bitcoin is pulling back with all of the fantastic fundamentals we have right now, which we've been discussing for the last several months, and they're going to see it as a buying opportunity. What we're looking at right now on Bitcoin is a short-term bearish movement, but in the long term, it's an opportunity. Guys, how many people in the last 20 years made their hundreds of millions or billions of dollars in either the 2001 financial crisis, the dot-com bubble, or the 2008 recession? How many? I'll tell you. A lot of them, because in crisis there is opportunity, and you must not forget that. When the market is pulling back, that's when you need to be investing. When everybody was shouting from the rooftops that the stock market's collapsing and because of Rona the world's coming to an end, what were the smart people doing in the stock market? They were buying the S&P on a 40% discount, and they just made nearly 100% in returns. The same thing is true with Bitcoin, so I'm going to hammer it home no matter how long this pullback that we're in lasts. This is an opportunity, not a reason to run around like a chicken with our heads cut off because Bitcoin looks fantastic fundamentally speaking. So when it pulls back in an environment like this, it should be looked at as an opportunity because no thing fundamental has changed. That was a weird way of saying that, but either way. And that leads us to the Fear and Greed Index as we were discussing earlier. As you guys can see, Fear and Greed last week was looking at extreme greed around 79 to 80 and is now pulled back 50% down to 40. The market is starting to become more fearful, and we can see that on the last year of this chart. We have seen a massive pullback in the Fear and Greed Index, bigger than pretty much anything we have seen this quick in the last year. We have seen the market go from absolute abject terror in March all the way up to extreme greed, and we've seen that display itself on the YouTube space, and in the last couple of days as Bitcoin has pulled back below 10.5, that fear has started to return to the market. But if you have the Bitcoin daily chart imprinted on your brain and you can't get it out like I do, you might look at this chart and notice something. If you just kind of flip back and forth, you might notice that these two charts look very similar. As we can see here in the beginning of March, the Fear and Greed Index pulled all the way back down to 10 to 15. And what was happening then? The beginning of the Rona crash of 2020. Markets pulled back 65% in Bitcoin and almost 40% on stocks. The entire global economy shuddered to a halt. But where was the best place to buy Bitcoin in the last year? In the entirety of the last 12 months, where was the best, objectively best place to buy Bitcoin if you had the benefit of hindsight? It was right down here when fear was down at 11, because that always coincides with a massive pullback in the market. But how did we know that we should be buying back at 4K? Because we know nothing had changed in the fundamentals of Bitcoin. You have to have faith in the space if you really want to be an investor. So when the market becomes more fearful, realize the people that are fearful don't understand the core concept in investing, that dire situations present opportunities to those that are willing and ready and able to capitalize on them. So what should our takeaway be from this pullback on Bitcoin? Should we yell terror in the streets? Should we freak out because maybe some Bitcoin that we bought up at over 11K, I didn't buy anything up there, is now in the negatives? Should we just kind of lose our minds? Is that what we ought to be doing? I think you know where I'm going with this. The obvious answer is no, guys. When Bitcoin pulls back, it's a discount. I want you to look at this like an early Black Friday sale. When Bitcoin pulls back, we have opportunity to get more cryptocurrency because we have a very strong reason to believe that a big bull market is coming, having to do with the halving and the stock-to-flow increase, having to do with all of the bullish fundamental news, adoption, and praise we've received from institutions and otherwise notable figures in the public consciousness. We have good reason to believe that Bitcoin is going into a bull market in the next 12 to 24 months. Remember, the 2016-17 bull market traded sideways for 8 months before it started really kicking off. But guess what would have happened if you had bought at $400 and sold anywhere near the top? 3,000 to 5,000% returns. You heard me right. It's nuts. So I want us to be careful when people are getting very concerned that Bitcoin's pulling back because, of course, the Fear and Greed Index is right. There is a lot of fear in the market right now. But I want to use a little bit of logic, a little bit of reasoning to inoculate you to that fear that people are going to try and pump in your veins. This is not a time to be fearful. This is a time to be greedy and to get yourself some more coin if you really do believe in the project that is Bitcoin. But anyway, guys, I hope you did enjoy today's video. I really appreciate you guys sticking around and giving so much support on the channel over the last week. It has been a wild ride, and I am very excited and pumped and happy to be on it with some amazing people. And guys, you're going to start seeing some of that coming up relatively soon. I can't wait to bring you guys in behind the scenes. But guys, that is going to have to wrap it out for today's video. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.